The no comply has seen a huge resurgence within the past decade in both skateboarding and in fingerboarding. Often a stylish no comply is a trick that leaves fingerboarders in awe. It's a trick that can elevate other fingerboarders' perception of another fingerboarder almost single-handedly. So you may ask, what is a no comply? In fingerboarding, a no comply is where the fingerboarder plants one finger onto the riding surface while simultaneously popping the board with their other finger. It's a trick that, when executed well, is highly stylish and extremely technical. It's also a trick where the majority of fingerboarders struggle to perform correctly, if they can even perform it at all. Now in this video, I'm going to give you the tools and tips that can help you perform the most realistic and stylish no complies around. Note guys that this is an advanced fingerboard trick, so if you're a beginner, be sure to master the fundamentals before learning this trick. Now, I'd like to go over a few rules. First, our planting finger must touch the riding surface to be considered no comply. Watch in this clip how the finger touches the table surface. You should be able to feel, see, and hear when your finger plants onto the riding surface. Otherwise, it's just some sort of 1 foot weird ollie trick. Second, the board should be popped either as our finger slips off the board or as the finger is touching the riding surface. Popping once our finger leaves the riding surface is not a no comply, and it's what I like to term as the faux comply. The faux comply, while not physically possible on a skateboard, is also an extremely stylish trick on its own. But again, it's not a no comply, and the faux comply should be treated as its own trick. Third, we can take our popping finger off the board in order to assist with popping the trick. However, I'm not a fan of this tapping no comply method and prefer a different method. The method I prefer involves utilizing pressure to assist with the timing of the pop. While a bit more difficult to control, mastering this technique will help make a very stylish, realistic no comply. Now that we've gotten the background out of the way, let's begin to learn how to no comply the correct way. Finger placement is so important. Our goal with finger placement is to make this trick both easier and more stylish. Your planting finger should be on the very edge of the deck, almost falling off. Your popping finger should be in the pocket on the opposite side of the board where your finger is planting, and this is very important placement, guys, as you will see later on. Think holistically about your arm. It's often an oversight by most fingerboarders. First, I want you to rotate your wrist so that the top of your hand is pointing the direction in which you are going. This brings your hand to a more upright position, which prevents the board from doing that weird rotating over your finger like a half impossible stall. Second, I also like to lift my elbow a little bit higher up than my hand. This brings you more flexibility to your arm movement as you perform the trick. Next up, we need to use pressure. Place a high amount of pressure onto your fingers, and we set up our fingers like this in mind. The pressure will allow us for a near instantaneous pop as we slide our planting finger off the side of the deck. Timing is key here. You need to slide your finger off the side of the deck and pop at the same time. That is why we're applying that pressure and why we're having our finger placement. It's going to pop the trick for us, guys. All we need to do is time when we lift our hand up after we place our finger onto the table. It should be almost instantaneous. Next is very important. I want you guys to push through the trick. When I say push through, it means accelerating through forward towards the direction you're riding, and this will prevent that board from rolling over with that half impossible stall. Now that we have a detailed step-by-step of the no comply, let us break down this trick into some mini exercises to help us master portions of the trick. Okay, the first exercise we're gonna do, I like to call the slip and pop. This exercise helps us learn the correct way to pop our trick, and our goal here is to learn and get used to the interaction of pressure and the timing of sliding our planting finger off the deck. Focus on applying a good amount of pressure using the finger positioning I shared previously. Slip the planting finger off the side of the board while continuing to apply pressure with both of your fingers. When the planting finger falls off the deck, our finger positioning plus that pressure of the other finger will cause the board to pop naturally on its own. Our objective here is to get the board to flip back the way you see in the clip. Once you're able to get that control down, guys, we can move on to the next exercise. We're gonna do one finger ollies. With your planting finger onto the riding surface, Put your hand in the no comply position we talked about before. We're gonna ollie with our back finger. And our goal here is to learn how to control the no comply once into the air. Pop the deck, accelerate towards the direction you're riding. This acceleration is very important, as you will see. We want to level off the ollie with our back finger while making sure it doesn't do some sort of weird half impossible finger stall. So now we have all the steps you need to learn the no comply. We even got a couple of drills for you to master specific elements of the trick. Let's combine it and put it all together. In the beginning, I want you to really focus on getting that initial pop mastered and the timing down. This is so tricky, and then probably the trickiest component of the no comply. So once you're able to consistently get the board in the air, you can just focus on landing. And landing the trick is really just like landing a kickflip that you caught with your back finger. As you control the board down to the table with your back finger, bring your front finger back onto the deck. At times you may land slightly before your front finger is on the deck, but it actually can look pretty stylish if it's like executed correctly. Also, sometimes the board is going to rotate to an ollie shifty position, and this is fine and normal. And this actually can bring some extra style as long as we can bring that board back to the straight position upon landing. So now, what are some common issues? Help, I can't pop correctly. I recommend practicing the slip and pop exercise, which will help you get used to the combination of finger placement and applying the right amount of pressure. Practice this exercise until you can consistently get the board to pop. Oh man, the board frequently rotates around. As I mentioned before, our finger positioning will actually cause the board to shift a little bit. And this is okay, we want this for a more realistic no comply style. However, it's important to use your back finger to guide and control the board back into a straight position. Think of it like a kickflip shifty, it's the same motion that you use. Help, the board flips around my finger like an impossible. This still happens to me on occasion, however I found when I rotate my wrist, it helps to counter this action and provides a barrier, preventing the board from going over into that position. Now guys, I hope these tips helped you learn the no comply. Remember, it's a very advanced and technical trick, and I do not want you to get discouraged. Sometimes there's tricks that are just very advanced and past the skill level we are right now. It's okay to just focus